You are a beautiful woman, Sophia, but you will die forgotten. No children, no legacy, just an empty ending." Grant Hale let the words fly across the ballroom like a blade, smiling as if cruelty was clever. The laugh that followed was not joy. It was fear dressed up as applause, because when a billionaire mocks you in public, people choose safety over decency. Sophia stood under the chandelier light, with her hands folded and her face calm. She looked like someone listening to distant music, not like someone being cut open in front of strangers. But inside, every word still landed. She had known this kind of room for years. Rooms where her worth was weighed by what her body could produce. Rooms where Grant liked to win, even after love was dead. She came tonight for the Children's Hospital fundraiser, the same hospital she had helped build when she was still his wife, when his heart was softer and his eyes were not so sharp. She came to donate in her mother's name. She came to honor families who fought silent battles. She did not come to be his entertainment. Grant wore his confidence like armor. It built an empire from a poor childhood and never stopped telling the world he did it alone. The media praised his drive, his vision, his rise. People in this ballroom believed every story he sold. After the divorce, he had repeated one line until it became a headline. "Sophia could not give me children. Sophia held me back. Sophia was the weak link I cut loose." The more he said it, the more it felt true to everyone who did not know her pain. Did not know the nights she spent under cold clinic lights, listening to machines hum while hope came back negative again. They did not know the smell of sanitizer clinging to her hair, the sting of needles, the soft voices of nurses who tried not to pity her. They did not know the way she would sit in the car afterward, palms pressed to her belly, whispering please. Just once, they did not know how Grant changed during those years, how his comfort turned into impatience, how patience turned into blame, and blame turned into a distance she could never cross. Sophia remembered the last night in their house. The city glowed outside their window like a promise they had lost. Grant stood by the sink, jaw tight, and told her he needed a legacy. He said he would not fail his name because her body kept failing him. Sophia asked for kindness. He answered with silence. She packed before sunrise, carrying her heartbreak like fragile glass, and walked out of his life with her dignity still intact. 2 years later, she stood in the same kind of glittering light, and he tried again to make her small. She did not flinch. Her calm was not numbness, it was freedom. She met his eyes for one steady second, then looked away as if he was a noise she no longer had to answer. Her silence was not weakness. It was a wall he could not climb. Grant lifted his glass, satisfied, and turned back to the crowd. The band continued. People drifted toward the dessert table. The moment was supposed to end there, with him on top and her in the shadow, but Sophia's. Bodhi was holding a secret that changed the air around her, under her simple dark green dress. Her belly was round and heavy, high with life. Not one baby. 4 quadruplets. 4 tiny hearts beating inside her. The sound she had begged for during years when the world felt empty. She had kept the pregnancy private for safety because it was high risk, because joy felt sacred and fragile after so much loss. Every week had been a cliff edge. Every doctor visit had been a breath held tight. She had made it to 36 weeks by living carefully and loving fiercely. Tonight she came because she was strong enough to sit in the same room as her past, without letting it own her. Grant's cruelty was the spark her nervous system did not need. A tight pull twisted low in her back. Sophia breathed through it, keeping her face smooth. Another pull came, sharper, longer. Her hand moved to her belly without thinking. The baby shifted inside her, a rolling wave that stole her breath. Not now, she pleaded in her mind. Please not here. Across the room, a nurse noticed her posture. Change. This nurse knew Sophia from the clinic. She knew what this pregnancy had cost her. She saw the way Sophia's eyes tightened, even while her mouth stayed calm. The nurse moved fast, not loud, not panicked. Just certain. Sophia tried to wave it off with a small shake of her head, but the next wave hit harder. Her knees softened. She gripped the edge of a chair, knuckles pale. The nurse was there, steady hands guiding her forward. 2 hospital staff members joined, creating a quiet shield around her. They led her toward the private hallway that connected the ballroom to the emergency wing. Whispers spread through the crowd like wind through dry grass. Grant turned. Annoyed at the disruption, already ready to toss another sharp remark, he saw Sophia's hand pressed to her belly, saw nurse faces tight with focus, saw the way Sophia's breath came in broken pieces. Confusion crossed his face, then disbelief, then something he did not know how to hide. Fear. He pushed through the guests, following without invitation, his smile gone. The truth hit him in slow motion as she passed under brighter hallway light. She was pregnant. Not barely, not early. Far along, huge with life. And the staff moving like this meant something urgent was happening now. Grant stopped in the hallway like the floor had shifted beneath him. The man who mocked her for being childless stood speechless because life had walked past him in silence. In the delivery suite, Sophia labored with grit that did not perform for anyone. She breathed deep, held the nurse's hand, and focused on the one thing she had waited for her whole life. The room smelled clean and warm. Voices were low and steady. Nobody blamed her. Nobody judged her. They just helped her bring her miracle into the world. She whispered to her babies between waves, telling them she was right here, telling them they were safe, telling them she had fought for them longer than anyone would ever know. Outside, Grant sank into a chair. His hands shook. Every cruel word he had thrown at her in the ballroom replayed in his head, each one now tasting like rust. He remembered every moment he had chosen pride over love. He remembered the way he had turned her pain into a story that made him look strong. And for the first time in years, he felt small in a way money could not fix. Near dawn, 4 newborn cries rose into the air, one after another. Thin and fierce and alive. 4 girls, they were placed on Sophia's chest in turns, wrapped in soft blankets, cheeks pink, hands opening and closing like tiny promises. Sophia wept, not from pain, but from arrival, from relief, from joy that felt too big for her body. Her heart, once mocked as empty, was now overflowing. When Grant was finally allowed in, stepped into the room slowly, like a man walking onto ground he did not deserve. His suit was rumpled. His eyes were wet. He stared at the babies as if he was seeing a future he had tried to bury. Sophia looked up at him, calm and unshakable, for living miracles around her like a crown. She did not smile for him. She did not punish him. She gave him the truth in a voice steady as stone. You wanted a legacy so badly you forgot how to love. Now my legacy is here, and it was never yours to own. Grant lowered his head. He had no argument. Left, no joke. No power that could stand in the shadow of her strength. The loudest voice in the ballroom had become the quietest man in the room. Sophia turned back to her daughters. And the world finally moved where it was supposed to move. Not toward wealth, toward worth, not toward noise, toward truth. Her silence had carried her through years of pain, and now life had answered in 4 tiny breaths. If this story moved you, comment where you are watching from. Share what hit you. Harder, the cruel words, or the moment truth arrived. And subscribe for more stories where quiet courage always gets the final word.